It's been quite a while since I've covered Girl Defined. Quite a while since we did that whole parody thing back before Bethany got married. Quite a while. And, I'm hoping that in the vast stretch of time since I've really covered Girl Defined, that they have matured, that they have aged a bit, that they have moved on from trying to placate a teeny bopper audience, trying to influence very young people. And I'm hoping that by now they've started talking to people a little bit older. What is up, you heathens and demons, you sinners and saints, you beautiful, blasphemous bastards? Welcome back to the Raging Atheist. I am your boy Nakasuchi, and it's been a while, but today we're gonna look at the girls of Girl Defined. And I know I opened it up with a serious question, but spoilers, ain't shit changed. Ain't shit changed, except their videos aren't as good or interesting as they used to be before. I used to actually enjoy covering Girl Defined. Now I find them to be really, really boring. Almost like, coffee and Bible time boring. And today, Kirsten and Bethany are going to talk to us about what they know best. Being married women, they're going to talk about going on first dates and the questions you should ask, because their audience is like 17. So they have to placate that audience and they have to try to corrupt that audience because ultimately they know that their content isn't really for adults. Most adults have made up their mind.
So we want to share questions that we brainstormed together that we feel like will really equip you, not just for a first date, but to help you really know, should I go on a second date? That's what you're trying to figure out. Not should I marry him? Should I spend the rest of my life with him? Will he incorporate into my family? No, you're just trying to figure out, should I go on date number 2? That's the goal. And so these 3 questions are coming at you fast.
All right, so 3 questions you should ask on a first date to figure out if you want to go on a second date. And I think, I could think of a few, like questions, like I would want to know what this person is passionate about. I would want to know, if this person is serious about their career, serious about their life, or if they're just, stuck in party mode. Are they responsible? Do they like children? Do they want children? I am a single father. I have an 11-year-old daughter. If my date doesn't like children, well, probably a good indicator that I don't need to go on a second date with that person. So, when I go on a date with somebody, I'm interested in finding out about them as a person. And yeah, that might include their beliefs, but their beliefs are just, filler information on how I'm going to ultimately judge that person in my mind. Being a Christian doesn't automatically disqualify you. But if you are, like, for me, like a Christian that just takes it way too seriously, that's all you care about, well, that would be a disqualifier for me. And I know, and the girls are Girl Defined. And I know, and like, if I were to go out with one of the girls of Girl Defined, we wouldn't have a second date. They wouldn't want a second date with me. I wouldn't want a second date with them. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to answer their 3 questions as honestly as I can.
Okay, so question number 1, and these questions are serious, but again, ask them in a way that feels natural to you. You don't have to copy our wording exactly. Yeah. This is just to give you the idea. So question number 1, what does being a Christian mean to you?
That I can't jack off. Like this is not a good question on a first date. But I mean, it does speak to like the only people that these 2 girls would date because they're closed-minded and they're bigoted. Right? Like, they're only gonna date somebody that they have a pretty good idea is as fundamental with their Christianity as they are. Christianity would be, like, the number one thing that would be important to them. Because that's how they were raised. They were raised that they need a good Christian man to lead them. Because, they're just women. They need a good Christian man to, lead them. Like, such a stupid fucking question. Like, seriously. Absolutely. Like, that's a second date question, yo. That's like a second date question. For real. For real.
Okay, so question number 2 on the 3 must-ask questions on a first date. Question 2, what role do you think the Bible should play in a person's life today? This is super, super helpful because now you're taking a little bit deeper to find out, okay, is he just like a Sunday Christian?
What role should the Bible play in a person's life today? Good question. I don't know. Backup toilet paper? Oh, I know. If you really want a long, holy joint, you can use a Bible page to roll it. I mean, can you guys imagine if a girl were to ask me these fucking questions on a date? Like, man, that would be an atrocious monstrosity of a date. That would be like the worst date in the history of all dates, because I'd just be sitting there laughing at her fundy ass.
Okay, so that's the first 2. The last one, and this is a fun, a little bit more casual, but I think really important, obviously, a must-ask question. What's something random that you're passionate about, and what's something more meaningful that you're passionate about?
You know, this is the best question so far, so I'm going to answer it. What's something that I'm randomly passionate about? Well, football. I'm randomly passionate about football. I love football. Football season's my favorite shit. I love watching the men just brutalize each other. I love the contact. I love the aggression. I love the anger, the violence of it. So yeah, randomly, I think football. Football, good question. More serious, you know, what am I passionate about? Well, normalizing atheism. Is that a good answer for you, Kirsten and Bethany? Would that get us a second date if I told you that I'm most passionate about normalizing atheism and making and helping people to see just how foolish some of their beliefs are? I'm really passionate about that. And I'm also really passionate about talking shit about Christianity, because I think that normalizing talking shit about Christianity brings it out of that level of seriousness where everybody tries to put it. You know, like this archaic religion is somehow taken seriously, and I think it's silly. Like, does that answer your question? I'm being honest. Would that be, you know, a deal breaker? I'm sure it would be. But I would have so much fun answering those questions, especially right to your faces.
Something is informing his worldview, right? Yeah. So it's either his worldview about life, about truth, about purpose, about identity. It's either coming from the Bible, like holy, sure. Like he gets all of that from God's word. That is his source. Or it's coming from a little bit of the Bible, a little bit from the world, a little bit from his feelings. And you really want to know, what is his guiding source of truth?
Yeah, you really want to know if his guiding force is this 2,000-year-old book that makes no fucking sense. This 2,000-year-old book that should not apply to anybody in the modern world. You should not be basing your morality off of it. You should not be basing your life off of this 2,000-year-old book, off of this code of ethics, I guess, that they had 2,000 years ago. We live in a different world. And you shouldn't be limiting yourself to deeply fundamental men. Not to say that you both didn't find great spouses. I don't know your spouses. I don't know you. Maybe you did. Maybe they're excellent to you. But you limit yourself from a lot of potentially really good people. You limit yourself from potentially an awesome love that you would have never thought imaginable. You limit yourself. You see, I don't do this. Yeah, being a deeply fundamental Christian might be a deal breaker because we wouldn't be able to relate at all. But being a Christian isn't. Being a Christian, to me, doesn't define you as somebody that I don't want to be with. In fact, that could actually bring a lot of good conversation if it's done healthy. If you're both honest about who you are, if you both accept who you are. You see, that's the number one thing, acceptance. You have to be willing to accept the other person. And if you can't do that, that's fine. That's why you don't go on that second date. But you shouldn't base that upon a deeply fundamental belief that you have, when I can almost guarantee you don't know why you have it. As always, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share me on your social media, comment in the comment section below, hit that bell so you're notified every single time I make a new video or every single time I have a new live stream. And if you're a patron, you guys are the shit. I got some new patron slides being made right now, trying to update them, get all the new patrons on, take out all the patrons that are no longer patrons. So updated slides coming, especially for the videos. I'm going to update the live stream format. I'm really planning on rebuilding an OBS for live stream, so hopefully it'll look a little bit better. So yeah, thank you patrons, thank you viewers, and as always, I'll see you soon.